Morning, everyone. How are we doing today? What is today? Wednesday, September 30th. And this is your daily financial news. Do me a favor, if you like these daily financial news updates, do two things for me. First, hit the thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. It just shows me a little love and attention, lets me know that my 90 minutes of reading is worth it. And if you'd like to get a little tidbit about the financial markets, real estate investing every day, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you will get the notification that I do these around 7:30 a.m. every morning. So look forward to it. The list is growing, and I thank each and every one of you for watching every day. It means a lot to me. So what do I got for you today? Lots of kind of individual market moving information that we will talk about. I would say lots of cross currents, lots of good and bad. So let's just run through the list individually. And well, I guess first let's start with what I'm going to politely call a dumpster fire of the debate last night. As I shared in yesterday's daily financial news, I wasn't going to watch it. I thought I had very low expectations of it, and from what I've read, it didn't even hit my low expectations. There was nothing presidential about the debates yesterday. No civility. A bunch of angry old white guys yelling at each other and being very disrespectful. Frankly, if that's what the next two debates are going to be, just cancel them. It doesn't help anyone. It makes both of you look like clowns. It creates more division and hatred, which we do not need more of. So do the American people a favor and just skip the debates. God, that just feels weird to say. But anyways, good news is, what is it, like 33 days away? We actually have an election, and hopefully we can move on shortly thereafter. So let's get that behind us. Next up, let's go with something positive. Pending home sales came out. And to say they were a record is an understatement. It's a record back to the 1990s, which is when this was started to be tracked. It was never this high. It was up 8.8% month on month, and more importantly, up 24.2% year on year. Wow. Wow. Supply is down 19% year on year. Wow. Prices up 11%. Wow. Just crazy. Again, this is a very difficult market to be an investor in, a cash flow investor, because there's no inventory or very little, and we're competing with owner occupants who can frankly outspend us because their down payments are lower, their interest rate is often lower, hence their mortgage payment is lower. I promise you, this is weird. It's never been like this in the 20 years I've been doing it. It probably is like this through March or April of next year. It's just weird. It's very, very slim pickings. What I would tell you if you're an investor is just keep grinding, right? If you've read our book, One Rental at a Time, there were a couple of periods in the 20-year journey where the market shifted on us, and it was just weird. It's easy to talk about them now, but when you're in the middle of it, which we are now and you are now, it's stressful. It's like, I'm never going to find a deal again. And I promise you, this market will adjust. Supply will come back. It's just unusual. So if you're one of my students, if you're a follower of mine, I would just tell you to keep looking every day. If you keep looking every day, you will see changes in the market. When they happen, you'll see them first, and you'll be ready. So let's talk about that. So again, pending home sales up 24.2% year on year. Supplies down 19%, and prices up 11%. Double digit price. Again, these are all national numbers. So that's that. Next up, we got news yesterday from Disneyland. Disneyland is basically telling the California governor, you idiot, we are now having to lay off 12% of our employees because of you. Disneyland did, they furloughed 100,000 people. I think it was March. but now they're actually going to be laying off 12.5% or 28,000 folks, mainly because LA Disneyland or Orange County or wherever it is not open. And there's no clear communication from our governor who likes a photo op more than doing his job. So yeah, this is, if we don't get a stimulus, and I'll talk about that next, we are going to see more companies announce big layoffs. And we have a couple more. Shell, obviously in the oil and gas, Dutch Royal Shell, announced 9,000 cut. Dow, they didn't announce a number, but said 6% of their workforce would be cut. So these are these second order layoffs, which again, I've said for months now, we are in for a lot of pain in the second half, and here they are. Here is just the latest examples. And there's talk. Let's talk about the stimulus. So Treasury Secretary Mnuchin was on CNBC. He's speaking at Seeking Alpha event, and he basically shared, I don't know, I guess he wanted to be positive. He says they are working vigorously on getting a package that has something for everyone, and basically said this is the last try. We're going to know in the next 24 to 36 hours if a bill gets done. If it doesn't get done now, in these next 36 hours, it's not getting done until after the election. With what we saw in the dumpster fire, it's pretty clear neither side likes each other. It also is pretty clear that I think most of the disagreement or the votes to pass the stimulus bill are in the Senate. I think there's a bunch of senators who believe the economy is strong and there is absolutely no need for a significant multi-trillion-dollar stimulus bill. That'll be an interesting bet to make. But the good news is we can hopefully stop talking about stimulus in about 24, maybe 36 hours. And on back of that, what is really the compelling event, a date, is the airlines. The airlines are on record for having to lay off upwards of 30,000 people tomorrow. Mnuchin indicated that he was hoping to get a skeleton structure of an agreement today so that he can communicate with the CEOs tonight and hopefully buy time so there's actually no layoffs tomorrow. Mnuchin knows a bill can't get done that fast. Mnuchin is hoping, given what he has been communicating with the CEOs at the airlines, that if he can share that a bill will get done, that they will avoid the layoffs. You've heard me many times, probably the last 8, 9, 10 weeks. Airlines need to be smaller. We need to have less of them. They need to consolidate. They need to go bankrupt. Look at Neiman Marcus. Neiman Marcus was in and out of bankruptcy during this crisis, seemingly 100 days or less. I forget what it was, but they shed like 400 million in debt in like, I forget, just crazy numbers they shed in bankruptcy. Bankruptcy doesn't mean you stop. It just means you get a chance to reorganize. So interesting. Next up, we have mortgage demand. So pending home sales were up, record-breaking. Weekly mortgage apps were actually down 5%, but again, they were up 22% year on year. We have some weekly variations here. And again, don't forget, inventory is down 11%. So it's hard to write an offer on a non-existent available home. We do have a couple of direct listings supposed to trade today. Palantir, last I heard, was supposed to go out at around 7.25, and Asana was supposed to go out about $21. Again, these are important for you. I think if you're a big stock, like playing the big 5, 6 stock, Amazon, Facebook, all of those, because you may see some selling in those, right, to raise cash to buy these other players. Another thing, I'm seeing so much talk about Trump's paying 0 or nearly 0 in taxes. And folks, you're letting him off the hook. If that is your intention, stop saying he paid 0 taxes. Because when you say he paid 0 taxes, his answer is no, I paid millions in taxes. And actually both statements are correct. What you should say is Trump paid 0 in federal income tax. Because I promise you he paid property tax, payroll tax, sales tax, corporate taxes, taxes in other countries. There's all kinds of taxes. So stop saying Trump paid zero in taxes. That is an inaccurate statement. You can say he paid zero in federal income tax, to which I'm sure he would say, well, I didn't have a job. I don't have a W-2. I don't have income like an employee. But let's have that discussion, right? The income tax code done by the IRS is in sense investment in risk taking. It's not it's not great for employees. Think Warren Buffett constantly complaining that he pays a lower average tax than his secretary. And W-2 employees are taxed crazy. It is an income tax. And if near as I can tell, I think Trump was supposed to get 400 grand for being the president a year, I think. But he gave it up. He gave it to charity. So he has no income. He doesn't have a W-2 like many of you. So let's let's stop giving him an easy out. If you want to corner him, let's talk about zero federal income tax. Stop saying zero taxes because that is inaccurate and allows him to tell you he paid millions. It's very foolish. Another article I read that was interesting, and it's about the Silicon Valley. More importantly, it's about who lives in the Silicon Valley. It is that 81% of the tech talent, now this was mainly in Silicon Valley, Seattle, Austin, Denver, New York. 81% of tech talent says they are looking to move from unaffordable cities. This is why I had that conversation, I think it was Sunday, with another Silicon Valley employee saying, you know what, I'm nervous about the Valley peak pricing and that we're not going to have that next generation move in. I really think the work from home, the Zoom meetings is going to deflate home prices in the most expensive cities. And we're seeing it now, but I think it's a trend that is highly investable. Only 20% of tech workers said they are looking forward to going back to the office 100% of the time. If you don't have to go back to the office, why pay sky high Bay Area prices? There's lots of beautiful places, better quality of life to live in than this, $2.4 million house in Palo Alto. Crazy. ADP's employment number came out. We've talked about this every month. It's the first cut of the monthly employment picture. It's not always directly tied to what's going to be reported Friday, but given it's our first cut, we should talk about it. It talks about 749,000 jobs added in the month of September, beating expectations by 100,000. So a beat is always a beat. It looks like it's all in the right sectors: transportation, construction, manufacturing, right? The economy seems to be bouncing back strong. Again, this is all about Friday, so we will see what's going on Friday. And then last thing of note, Nicola's deal with GM, I think, is on life support. GM was supposed to close their investment today at the end of the month. They have delayed that decision. Personally, again, only based on my experience with Enron back in the day, I believe Nikola is going to disappear like Enron did. Enron, again, my experience, losing lots of money. They were often talked about as being the smartest people around, bunch of PhDs, and it turned out to be a fraud. Kind of smells like the same thing. We'll see, and we'll probably see very quickly what's going on there. So again, that's what I got for you today. Again, daily financial news. If you've watched it to the end, do me a favor and hit thumbs up if you haven't already. And at the end of the day, you have a wonderful day. We are going to talk to Anna, hopefully here in about 17 minutes or so. Take care. Bye.